Hey guys, Janky Prepper. Welcome to my channel. And if you're listening to this, you are the resistance. And this morning I'm going to do a follow-up to the vid I posted on the police officer that obviously has no respect for the Constitution and no respect for individual rights, and talk about the other side of the coin that I have to deal with in this great American culture. And that's the jackasses that have no respect for the law and are going to be a huge problem if we ever have to deal with a situation where there is no rule of law. These three idiots were arrested just a few days ago on various charges of illegal weapons possession, construction of explosive devices, conspiracy to commit a terrorist act, you name it, there's more. You can look it up. And the gist of it all is their conspiracy nutcases over Jade Helm, which they believe is going to open the door to martial law. And these guys are freedom fighters, where they were going to bring military and lure law enforcement into this area and ambush them and murder them for the greater good. Now, thank God, law enforcement got word of this through the actual gun store owner that these guys, these jackasses, were buying the guns from. And he let law enforcement know what they were talking about, what they were planning. And law enforcement was able to shut them down. This is law enforcement working in our best interest, because we don't want these guys around us. Unfortunately, this is what has saturated prepping, the survival movement. I mean, total jackasses who have no respect for the law either, have delusional dreams of grandeur that they're freedom fighters and there's going to be a revolution. I've seen this all over prepping. It's one of the reasons I pulled out of it a few years ago, just to distance myself from it, because I want nothing to do with these kinds of people. I don't try to get them to come onto my channel. I've tried to put up many vids, in fact, over and over again, trying to ask them, just get the hell away from me. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want anything to do with them now. I wouldn't want anything to do with them in a crisis situation, and I sure the heck don't want them to be my neighbors. I'm going to tell you a fact. These guys, these kinds of mentalities are going to be your biggest problem if the rule of law ever breaks down. These guys will be your biggest problem. Preppers. And I know you've heard that you can't judge a book by its cover, but I've gotten really good at judging a book by its cover. You know, I think that's a lie. That saying is a lie, that you can't judge a book by its cover. In the same way that it's a lie that there are no stupid questions. Since I've been on YouTube, I can tell you for a fact, you can judge a book by its cover, and there are really, really, really stupid questions. Now, I can tell by looking at these guys that they're asshats. They're all over YouTube. They're all over the survival community. They're all over the prepping community. And these are the guys. This is the face that the media is going to put on any movement that tries to become self-sufficient. And there's enough of these volunteers to step right up to it. In fact, I have a new program called Asshat Profiling. I know that profiling is not politically correct, but I'm telling you, I've got a program where you can pretty much profile asshats just by looking at them. I could bring up 1,000 channels on YouTube at the touch of my fingers that'll bring up asshats. And the point that I'm trying to make here with this vid, with these two vids, is that this is the literal rock and hard place that families like mine, or guys that think like me, have to live under right now in this culture. Because I don't want to live under a government that's a police state that has no respect for the Constitution. I don't want to live with a police force like that. I don't want to live with a militarized, tyrannical police state. But I also don't want to live in a culture of individuals like this. I don't. These self-proclaimed freedom fighters and nutcases, they get themselves all worked up, constantly watching vids and rhetoric of hate and wickedness. I believe it's spiritual at its core, this blindness, and it is truly wicked on both sides. It is the rock and hard place that I'm stuck between. And as if I could just make this culture a little scarier, as in the last vid where I've got a police officer who has no respect for constitutional rights, who's actually, looking for a fight and pulls his gun on an innocent civilian, I've got people in the comment section defending that police officer's actions. Oh, that's kind of scary. That guy was pointing his finger at him. You know, I would have pulled my gun too. I mean, this is like mind-blowing to me that these people condone this and even defend this. That this is how they want to live, with police officers that act that way. I will have people defending these three guys and that they look normal to me. Seems perfectly normal. In fact, there's videos up on YouTube calling these guys justified in what they're doing. See, it's the people overall, it's the problem. Whether we want to believe that or not, the people are responsible for this government and the direction that this country is going. Personally, I've tried to explain this in a prior vid called A Patriot in Exile. You know, I don't have a country anymore. I don't fit into this, the direction this country's going. There's a spiritual blindness that if you don't understand that, you're never going to understand what's happening. But it is truly the people that are the problem. That's what's creating the government that I'm under as well. And I think until you get to that point where you truly understand that, you're never going to understand me. You're never going to understand even what I'm doing here. Anyway, I'm going to finish up my coffee and leave it right there for you. You know, if I come back to YouTube like I did before, and I want to start addressing some of these things that I see, I just want there to be no question where I stand and where my mindset is. I'll talk to you later.